Is the action where we're coming into full draw. You're already in structure, you've got alignment, you've set your shoulder alignment, you set your elbow alignment, you've got your anchor position, everything's lined up. And what we're doing is we're opening our draw length to activate the clicker, right? Now it's a very small action, all right? So how do we complete this action? What movement is it? Because if you look at the top arches, then what you'll notice, it sort of looks like they're just holding, right? You can't really see the movement. So what is the movement? Yeah, so how do you create this movement? What is it?
The scapula? No?
Part of it, yes. The scapula continues to retract. I'll tell you, it's not the hand sliding along the face. That doesn't happen. The anchor is connected here. The best way to think about your expansion is a continuation of your alignment. Okay. So if you look at this, look at the arrow point. If I, continue my alignment, what happens to my draw length? What's happening here? Look at the arrow point.
Okay. It's coming.
Right. Now, obviously, I just exaggerated that this much, but it's really tiny. In fact, it's so small it's almost imperceivable visually.
Okay.
But that's the action that we're trying to do. Okay. That means maintaining the strength in our shoulder alignment and simultaneously retracting the scapula and bringing the elbow alignment around. Very small. This is why I say it's think about it like a continuation of your alignment.
Okay.
Because if you try and do a movement, it'll almost be too big. It'll definitely be too big. All you have to do is think about the movement and think about alignment, 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 and that will create the control and the action. Okay. Now there's a couple of components to the skill of expansion. One, you already need good structure. If you have the wrong structure, how can you possibly apply the right force into the bow? It's not going to work. So first, before we introduce the clicker, we get the posture, we get the shoulder alignment, we get the front shoulder position, we get the pressure point, we get anchor, we get our elbow alignment, we get everything set up, and now you can apply directional force into the bow and create power. Okay, rather than just. So a lot of archers, when they first start shooting, they introduce the clicker straight away. And that means that they get a very quick improvement in their scores because all of a sudden, now they're consistent in their draw length. Whereas because they have shooty form, they're really inconsistent in their draw length, so they shoot terribly. And now they have a place to release, they get an improvement. But it's not actually helpful because when you are inconsistent in your structure, you have no control of when the clicker goes. Because you're a different place every time, so you have no control of the clicker. You're just pulling until it randomly goes off and then you release. And when you fix your draw length, you're actually reinforcing that position. So if you've got problems in your posture, your alignment, your front shoulder, your head position, your anchor or anything, because all of this affects your draw length, right? Then you're just reinforcing that bad habit.
Okay.
So while you're working on structure, we take off the clicker. Once your structure's good, we introduce the clicker, and then learning expansion is very easy. It's like natural. Okay, so you can learn it very quickly today. Okay, so there's a few elements to this skill. One, there is what we call expansion range. Now that's the range that you can expand within your technique without distorting your form. So you'll notice that when I come into anchor, think about it like you're in 99.5% alignment. So you're 99.5% alignment. And expansion is coming from 99.5 to 100% alignment. It's just the last little bit. So the moment the clicker drops, that's the instant you're in like absolutely perfect structure. You with me?
Yes.
So it's just the final finishing touch. It's like you're Leonardo da Vinci, you've been painting the Sistine Chapel, you stand back and go, done, right? Everything's perfect now. It's like just a little touch. It's like you're a chef and you're cooking a soup, you give it a taste, need something, a little bit of salt, done. Finishing touch. Okay, it's perfect now. So that's what the expansion is. It's just all coming in to alignment. So the expansion range is it's actually possible to do the expansion, come into 100% alignment, and then do something else and exaggerate your technique. We don't want that. So actually, there's a natural range, coming close for this one. There's a range you can expand your clicker, or expand the arrow within your natural alignment, within your technique, and it's maybe this far. what we want to do is we want to set the clicker in approximately the middle of our expansion range. So we should be able to expand past the clicker. What's going to happen if we set the clicker all the way at the end of our expansion range? What's the problem with that?
Release.
Huh?
We want to release.
Well, it means that to shoot, you have to complete all of your expansion right to the end. You can't get anywhere further, and then the clicker goes. So what happens if you start to get tired in a competition? Yeah, you got to expand, it still hasn't gone off, and then you have to do something else to make the clicker go. And then you mess up your shots. Okay? So instead, what we want is we want a little bit more room to go. It also means that sometimes you over-retract the scapula and you can create no power anymore. So you need room past the clicker within your technique. Okay, that's expansion range.
Okay.
Then there is smoothness. Okay? And just like if you're painting the Sistine Chapel, you want to use smooth brush strokes, right? You don't go, like that's modern art. We want classical, smooth, beautiful brush strokes. Same with the expansion. We don't want this sort of expansion. We don't want jerky application of power. We want a smooth application of power through the range. We also want timing, okay? Timing matters because you need to be in control of when the clicker drops, not the clicker being in control of you. So it means that when you're expanding, you shouldn't just be pulling until the clicker drops at some random time, okay? You need to be able to activate it on time. And so by training timing, it helps you gain control of exactly when the clicker drops. And then there's direction, okay? And ultimately everything else we work in our archery technique leads us to training direction and directional expansion. Because what happens a lot of the time is you're expanding and you're creating movement this way, right? But what happens is that often when you're creating expansion, the bow will sort of move offline. And directional expansion is the principle where we're applying force so that yes, while the bow is growing, the direction is directional. It's like towards the 10 ring. And direction is more important than aiming. Because, come over here. What happens, come in close. What happens if my sight pin is perfectly on the middle, but I'm extending and I'm giving the direction towards the 7. Where's my arrow gonna go? 7. All right. What happens if my sight pin is on the 7, but I'm giving direction towards the 10? Where's my arrow gonna go?
10.
10. No one thinks of it like this. But top archers and really experienced archers, they know this because they have, when they do good execution, they know that it doesn't really matter where the sight, when they have good execution, they have good direction, the bow jumps perfectly and they'll hit the 10. Like, do you know how small the 10 ring looks at 70 meters? You can't even see it. But the 10 ring is in the middle of all these other rings, right? So you can sort of direct it towards the center and you can keep the directional expansion solid. And that's how you can shoot 10 size groupings, even if you can't really hold it that steady because you're giving good direction to the bow. Okay, so there's the action of the expansion, it's a continuation of your alignment. There's the fluidity, the smoothness of the expansion. There's the timing, okay? Control of when the clicker drops. There's the direction, and what did I say? The expansion range. Not easy. You ready? All right, let's get that again. So I wanted to share with you this video because I actually get asked pretty frequently, what is expansion? Or how do you teach expansion by a lot of other archers and coaches? You know, do you pull? Do you push? Do you slide the hand along the face? Do you use blood pressure? You know, there's all kinds of different ways people think about it, but expansion is an advanced skill. And one of the things that I wanted to demonstrate in this video was there are many components to the expansion. There's the structure, there's the smoothness, there's the expansion range, there's the timing, there's the, direction is the most important one. So obviously there are some prerequisites for you to learn in order to master the expansion skill. And that's what I teach. So I do have a program on that. In the Rogue Archery Masterclass, that's a paid program, but for free, I do have also, every Friday, I send out a behind the scenes coaching video, just like this one, where it's kind of just live coaching beamed straight at you. So I'll leave that down in a link to that in the description box below this video. So if you like these live coaching scenarios, go sign up for that and I'll send you an exclusive one every Friday. Peace.